What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dissect That Film, where we dissect your favorite films, film franchises, and TV. Today on Slice of TV, we're talking about episode 8 of Dexter New Blood, titled Unfair Game. Joining me today, as always, is the wonderful Angela from DNA Gaming. Welcome back. This is exciting. I literally just watched the episode because my kids are on vacation, so it wasn't my normal routine of being home and getting to watch it when the kids aren't around. But I said, I need to watch it. So the kids watched it too. Well, somewhat, not really. Yeah, whatever. People, don't judge me. I had to watch the damn show. But yeah, let's talk about it. As everybody knows, we do spoiler free in the beginning of the show. We'll talk about what we thought of it without spoiling anything. And then once we pretty much run out of things to talk about, we go full spoilers. So if you haven't seen this episode, make sure to go check it out before you watch the rest of this review. If you don't care, keep watching. Angela, what did we think of this episode, Unfair Game?
Definitely not the direction I thought it was going to go. I was thrown for a little loop there, but it was still good. Still, it kind of in the direction that I'm wanting it to go, minus the few little here and there. But yeah, I'm still anxious to see where they're gonna take it.
Yeah, it was definitely an episode where things this was a whole new arena for this show, because I think most of the show was very psychological, and there was some planning involved and just these things that were happening behind the scenes. But now everything is kind of like out in the open right now. People are finding things out. Dexter, let's just say he gets some good cardio in this episode. he's full, a lot of cardio in this episode. The everything that happens at the end, just oh shit. You think of it, when this ended, I was like, there are still 2 episodes left. What is going to happen? Everything is unraveling for Dexter. Harrison is in, I think, the place a lot of us expected him to be. Mm-hmm. That's it. I just like, oh god, here we go again. We get to the end and they got to leave us hanging, where we're getting this really touching scene, and then it ends and you're like, well,
damn it.
damn you, Showtime, Dexter showrunners. Michael C. Hall again, doing a fantastic job as always as Dexter. Jack Olcott continuing to, I love this kid. I can't wait to see him in other things. I think he's a great actor. He's doing a great job in a role that he kind of had to step into, because this is a character that we haven't seen since he was like 5 or 6 years old. Mm-hmm. So to see him in this new light and what he's done with the character is great. And of course, Clancy Brown's terrifying. Oh, yeah. Kurt is just a terrifying character. He's one of those guys that really is good at drawing you in. Like he did it to Harrison. He draws him in, and then he shows his true colors.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so good though. And him trying to get on his side. That's the thing, is like him trying to persuade him to, like all of this was just an act. That was it. All of it was an act until, and then of course we get what we get at the end. But boy, it is really, like I say every week, it is really hard to not spoil things here in the beginning of the episode. So this is where we're going to stop our spoiler free, and we're going to go right into spoilers. So if you haven't seen episode 8 of Dexter New Blood, make sure to tune in, go over to Showtime, watch the episode, and then when you're done, come back and give us a listen. I want to thank everybody who's been leaving great comments on the prior episodes of Slice of TV. I can't remember the name of this damn show. Thank you so much for filling in the blanks, because we do miss a lot of things in the episodes, because my brain works 100 miles an hour and it doesn't go in order. So thank you to the people who have been commenting, leaving and they're very nice comments, just kind of putting information that we might have not mentioned in the episode. So thank you very much, and thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the YouTube, because it's been killing it lately, and I just want to shout everybody out. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. We're flying there, and it's all because of all of you. So thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. So this is where we're going to jump into spoilers. So please go check out the episode before watching the rest of this episode of our show. So here we go. Spoilers. All right, Angela, you know the rule. What did we think of this episode?
Oh,
Always with the noise. Always just the.
Sometimes my brain just won't let me convey my feelings, except for through sound. I mean, it starts from the very beginning with the dream. You find out that it's a dream that Dexter's having in the car.
So good.
With Harrison beating up the boys.
So good.
Oh,
So good.
it was so good. Especially the end when he takes the baseball bat and he just slams it down and he splatters blood on his face.
Oh, so good.
It's so satisfying.
Yes.
He's just like, yeah, I did this.
He is in the zone. And to be honest, when you see Dexter at the end, like in the door, and he kind of looks around and he's kind of accepting, he doesn't know what to feel. Like he's like, no, we all knew where it was going to go. I kind of wanted it to be real. I kind of wanted it to be like those kids followed Harrison home, and then Harrison just murks him, and then you have to kind of see Harrison take care of his own mess. But I kind of like a little, as much as I wanted to see that, I'm glad that they went the route that they did, because I think a lot of people want to see Harrison go in a different direction than just becoming a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
Because that's what you've been. Like these kids, the kids, they're kind of seeking revenge for their friend. And, that's why they confront him. And, I don't think these kids had in their mind to kill Harrison. It was more of just like beat the shit out of him, send him a message like, don't fuck with us again, and then go away. Where in this dream, he murks them all. He slits he slits one of their throats, beats the shit out of one with a bat. Yeah, I'm glad it went in the direction it did.
Yeah.
But boy, what a scene. What a scene. So we see Dexter at the end of the last episode. He gets taken by what was this guy? I can't remember what this guy. Elric Kane. What a name. Yeah. He takes Dexter at the end of the last episode, and so at the start of this episode, it is Kane driving, and Dexter is tied up, zip tied up in the back seat, and that's when Dexter has this dream, and it's more of like flashbacks of like the conversation he has with Harrison, and then it goes into Harrison getting into like life or death match with these kids in the cabin. But it's all a dream, because Dexter wakes up and he's not in a situation he's used to. It's usually the other way around. And he gets himself out he gets himself to a point where he needs to go. He just goes into like full rage mode where he's like, I need to save Harrison, because he knows what's going to happen to him pretty much. And so he takes the zip tie and shoves it in his mouth and like tries to like, and causes the truck to crash. And I love it because he's got like that Joker smile, because it's like his whole mouth is torn up from the zip ties, but he hits the pole and Dexter just flies out the side of the window. All right. Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah. His first thing is, he takes off all the zip ties. And I love it where he's about to confront him, and then Elric comes around the corner with the sniper, or with the rifle, I should say. I don't know guns. Yep. So he comes around the corner with the rifle, and that's just love the reaction where Dexter goes from being like defensive to, like he literally just goes, fuck. And just starts running. And of course he gets hit in the leg. And we pretty much, this is where we were talking about earlier with Dexter getting a lot of cardio. Dexter was running for 80% of this episode. He's running through the woods, trying to escape Elric Kane. And there's always the thoughts in his head is like, oh, I'm not used to, I'm not used to being in this situation. And then he's always running into Deb. He was like, you need to save Harrison. He's like, I'm trying. What?
Yeah. What does it look like I'm doing?
Yeah. He's like, I'm doing what I can. I also like that this guy's not an idiot. This Elric Kane, he's not an idiot. Like, he's a seasoned hunter. You know, he pretty much does this because he gets paid to do it. I don't think he, would do this for free. He was supposed to bring Dexter to Kurt's cabin, and alive, of course. And it all goes awry when Dexter tries to kill him. And I love it where Dexter's trying to figure out all the different ways of trying to evade him. So he like goes up to the river and backtracks his steps so it looks like he went into the river or he crossed the river. And the guy gets to that point and he's just like, oldest trick in the book. Can't phase me. And he's just like, son of a bitch. It's just every time he's trying to be one step ahead of this guy, the guy is like, nope, I know this. I know these tricks all too well. You can't avoid that. I like what do you think about the whole situation with like Angela slowly figuring out like what Dexter truly is?
I want her to figure it out. I want her to I don't know what I want her to do with that information. Because she's still conflicted where she's like, I know what he is, but I also was in love with him. So it's like, it's still like she doesn't want it to be, but it's what is she going to do as a cop?
It's all just falling into place perfectly. And she doesn't want to believe it, but she's doing her job and she wants to, figure things out. And yeah, she's another one who is just like, she is not in the right place for this. Like, she is a very good cop, a very smart cop, and she is not in the right town for this, for how smart she is. And yeah, she's slowly figuring things out about so she goes, Logan tells her about the whole situation that went down with that drug dealer. I can't remember his name.
Miles
was the first one, and then it was Jasper was the guy who dies. And she goes and talks to Miles first because Logan pretty much states that Jim was at the bar and that when he got there, Jim was beating the shit out of this dude. And so she goes and confronts this guy, and he explains the whole situation about how Jim went there, asked for drugs. They went outside to go get them, and Jim jumped him. And first he got pricked with something. It felt like a needle, but he didn't know 100%. And then the cop showed up, and that's when he started throwing fists. And literally that's exactly what happened. And so she's piecing it all together, and she takes a picture of the prick mark in his neck. And then she goes and investigates Jasper because Logan explains that Jasper was dead when they got there. And he had only been dead for like an hour. And she goes, he's on the table, and she looks around and she notices the same exact jab mark on his neck. And so it's all starting to come into place. And even at the end, when she's looking at the pictures, and then she types in, is it fentanyl, or what was the drug? Ketamine, which is the drug that Dexter injects into the people that he kills before, to get them to go to sleep. Yep. And she just puts in that into Google along with Miami-Dade, and it pops up the Bay Harbor Butcher, which is Dexter. And it's like everything is just falling perfectly into place for her to figure out that Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher, and he is a serial killer. And it's holy shit. And of course, as this is happening, Harrison is, you think Harrison is forming this really nice relationship with Kurt. Ketamine. Thank you. ketamine. It's a drug that makes you go to sleep. We're not doctors. But yeah, you think Harrison's forming this really nice relationship with Kurt. They break into the high school. They, take some swings at the batting cage, and you get this really fucked up part where Harrison is stepping into the box there, and he's purposely letting these baseballs just smash him right into the ribs and all that. Yeah. And you're like, man, this kid is just, whoo, damn. And he doesn't take one or two. He takes like 4 or 5 shots right into the ribs. And even Kurt's like, okay, that's enough. So he invites him to his house to go to have some venison. And you're like, okay, this is. I feel like a lot of people were thinking either Harrison was going to be like Kurt's helper, or he was going to kill him. I think those were the two things that a lot of people were probably seeing. Of course, we get the second. He brings him to the cabin, and you knew as they're driving there, and he's like, "Oh, I thought we were going to your place," and he's like, "No, we're going to go to my cabin." And you're like, "Oh no, no, this isn't good." As all that is happening, we're back with Dexter, who is running through the woods still, trying to evade this guy, and he goes and he finds the summer camp that we see earlier in the season that Harrison and Audrey and Zach and his cronies, they all go to just kind of kick back. And I love the line where he sees the sign for the summer camp and he's like, oh, a summer camp where every serial killer makes this a great place for a serial killer to make his final stand. I was like, yeah, yes. Shout out to Jason. Jason gets a shout out in this movie and not even by name. I love it. I thought the whole thing was crazy, like him bursting through the mirror. Like, what a scene.
That was really cool.
Elric is just checking out his wounds. He's like in agonizing pain. And Dexter is on the other side of this mirror, just busts through the mirror. It doesn't come around, doesn't come from behind him. He busts through the mirror straight on, pins the guy to the ground, and pretty much tells him, who are you? What are you like? Where are we going? Blah, blah, blah. And at first the guy's hesitant, but then, Dexter's never fucks around. He's got the knife up against his neck, and he's like, yeah, I was supposed to bring you to Kurt's cabin and alive. And that was it. I'm just doing my job. I do, it's all about the money. And Dexter's like, fuck you, and stabs him, kills him in his typical way. Everything happens so fast in this episode, especially with Dexter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he's running for his life.
Right. And I love it in the beginning where, he's trying not to have the blood drip everywhere. But then as he gets to the camp, his whole thing is to kind of trick this guy into getting into a certain situation so he can attack him. So he makes a pile of blood outside the cabin. Then he smears blood all over the door handle going into the cabin. Like, he sets him up. Even I love it how this guy is not an idiot. The guy chasing him, Kane, because Dexter takes the knife and he sees that he took the knife. That's how observant this guy is. He sees that the knife is missing, and he's like, oh, this guy's bringing a knife to a gunfight.
To a gunfight. Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, we get Kurt. Kurt is just trying to weasel his way into manipulating Harrison into pretty much just being with him. Harrison is in town. He sees Audrey. He wants to talk to her, but of course he sees Zach there and they're flirting or whatever, and it turns him off. And Kurt calls him and tells him, oh, I'll give you a ride, since he's not at the truck stop anymore, because this episode literally takes place the same day as the prior episode, because it's him. He had already left the truck stop after him and Dexter had their fight. So that's when Kurt picks him up. They go to the school, they do the thing there, and then Kurt takes him to the cabin where he makes him a nice venison, and they have the talk about how you know, my dad just does it. Like, I came here for answers, but my dad is, you know, I feel like we just don't have that connection. Again, I feel like we never will. And of course, Kurt is in there trying to push it. They're like, it's your dad's fault. Don't blame yourself. It's your dad's fault. And I would have never left you. Like, trying to just putting Harrison in that very comfortable spot, which is like, man, you slimy bastard. And it's great that it's funny because Harrison asks Kurt, like, why were you arrested? And Kurt tells him about, oh, my dad killed a girl 25 years ago. And it's like, oh shit. Oh, okay. But then he gets up, he's like, oh, I gotta go do something. And you're like, is there a girl here? Is he gotta go like watch it? I thought he was going in the room to like watch a girl he had captured downstairs or something, but he immediately comes out in his white outfit, and Harrison's like, oh, what's going on? And he's just like, oh, I wish it didn't have to be this way. And you're like, no way. Is he really going to just murk Harrison?
Right.
And of course, Dexter is on the longest truck drive I've ever seen in my life. How big is this town? Where did he go?
He's driving from one side of Texas to the other.
Holy crap. There's not even a Texas.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, New York is a big state, but this town can't be that big. Oh my Lord. Because he is driving
everybody
angry.
knows each other.
Right? Oh,
so how big can it be?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you got to think he had to get back to the truck from where he was. Because, I mean, it was a long distance that he was running for in this episode. And he had to get back to the truck. Mm-hmm. But the truck drive just seemed like so long. And of course, everything happens at that perfect time. So Kurt is in his I guess his kill suit with his rifle, and he tells Harrison, you know, he forces Harrison outside, and Harrison's just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. He's like, what, did I say something wrong? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what's going on. And then he tells him to run, and you're like, oh man, don't do this to my boy. He starts running. And right as he is about to shoot, that's when Dexter pulls in. But at first, Kurt thinks it's Elric because it's his vehicle. And so he's waving him in like, come on, I want him to see this. But nope, Dexter's behind the wheel, and he's angry, and he drives straight at Kurt. Kurt dodges. He runs over his gun. And Harrison and Dexter have a nice embrace as Kurt is... listen, this man is big, and he is not a young dude, but man, he could move. He was sprinting out of there. He was gone. And yeah, and instead of, I thought they were going to go after him. Like after it happened, I thought it was like, no, I got to go. Like Dexter's like, I'm going after him. No, he's like, let's get out of here. And they end up driving away. And we have that nice conversation where we finally get Harrison going, what is going on? And Dexter goes, I have so much to tell you. And he pretty much states like, everything you're going through in your life, I have gone through in mine. So never feel like you're alone when with your dark thoughts. He wanted to say passenger, but he would have never understood what that meant. But with your dark thoughts. And of course he's like about to continue what he's saying, and Harrison like jumps across and gives him a hug, and we get that's all he wanted was and then it all ends with, I guess this is what I always wanted. And I thought that was a great way to end it, even though you're just like, wow, God, there's just so much going on right now. Angela is figuring out who Dexter really is. Harrison I love that Harrison and Dexter are finally together, and we're going to get that, for a fact in these final two episodes, it's going to be Harrison and Dexter versus Kurt showdown. And boy, is it going to be fun. I feel like I've talked way too much. You need to talk now.
I'm just excited. So, one thing I want to point out, I want to see if you notice this. Do you know what Dexter uses to take the zip tie off his legs?
He uses Matt's the bolt from
he uses the screw.
Yep.
Yeah, he's still carrying it around.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's good.
If I was a writer, I would have wrote in there as he's doing it, like as he does it, he just goes, "Thanks, Matt." Or I mean, that does kind of sound cheesy, to be honest, but that would have been funny. I was waiting for it. I was like, man, is he gonna thank Matt? Kind of just like, thanks for saving me, even though I killed you.
But it's weird because he like holds it in both hands like it's a baby or something, and then
Yeah.
he uses it like,
Yeah,
okay.
I thought that was a cool touch. I like how he,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a knife on him, which is weird because it's Dexter. But I'm guessing, probably when Elric knocked him out, you think he probably emptied his pockets, right?
Probably. I wouldn't think he
It's
would keep
surprising he didn't
everything.
take the bolts out though. But maybe he just didn't think like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do with this thing?
He probably had it hidden somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anything else that I might have missed. We find out a little bit about Matt. That Matt was a very athletic kid. He was lettered in 3 sports in high school, and then in Harrison and asked Kurt about like, hey, where is he? Why does he come back? Is he not gonna be around for Christmas and stuff? And that Kurt knows. Kurt clearly knows he's dead, but he's always got to play it off like he's alive, and he doesn't want to show his face around here because of the search.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't accept it. And Harrison goes, well, it's the holidays. A lot of people that's when people forgive the most. And it's like, oh man, if only you knew, Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt. God damn. I just want to know I just want to know more about him. And like, we saw a little bit of his history of, was it the first, when he kills Iris, was that the first time he does like, is this where it all started? Was, his father training him to become somebody like that? Where in reality, where Kurt is always talking about how his dad was a piece of shit and, he didn't, it was scary being his son, but was his dad really training him to become who he is today? And what's the reason behind him taking girls? I mean, even though he tries to kill Harrison in this, but I think it was more just to kind of draw Dexter out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just so many questions, and I really hope, with how good this show has been, I really hope this show lands with these last 2 episodes. That's the problem with these shows is there's so many great shows out there, but it's always those final 2 episodes or just the final episode of a series that can make or break how that whole season is looked at.
Yeah.
So come on. Anything is better than what we got in season 8. Okay.
I just want him to do another season. I know they said
There are
it's a
rumors.
one-off, but there, been rumors floating around.
With the popularity of the show, there are rumors out there, and I say rumors because that's what they are. That Dexter there is talks that that there might be a Dexter New Blood season 2, but we shall see. We got to see how these final 2 episodes go, and goddamn, am I excited to see how it all unfolds. Because boy, like we said, 2 episodes, and these episodes are either 45 minutes to an hour, and there's a lot going on. Can we get all that in that amount of time? We shall see. But that's all we got for today on Slice of TV. What are your theories, audience? What do you think is going to happen in the final 2 episodes of this show? What did we miss from this episode? Always love the comments that you all leave. Angela, what do you think? What are your hypotheses? Is that the right word, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I know what I want to happen.
All right, we'll go.
I want Angela to fully find out. I want her to confront Dexter, but I also want Dexter to try and spin it on Kurt and see what he can get away with.
Dexter's a smart guy. I could see that happening. Do you think that the next episode we're going to see Dexter telling Harrison about him being who he is?
I don't know if he'll fully open up. The way he's been talking, he'll kind of skirt around it and not fully open up, I don't think. But I think he's gonna tell Harrison more about the dark thoughts, because he has them too.
Mm-hmm. He sure does. Oh man, I can't wait. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for this episode of Slice of TV. I always want to thank my wonderful guest, Angela from DNA Gaming. If you couldn't tell, we're wearing Krampus outfits because right after we're done recording this episode, we're recording our podcast for this week, which is Krampus. So hope you guys enjoy that. Oh, Gruß von Krampus. But for now, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Until next week, I am Brett Parker. That is Angela from DNA Gaming. And this is Dissect That Film Slice of TV. We'll see you all next time. Bye.